And there I are. What do you know? I got the chat box window up and running. I was working on that. I was worried that it wouldn't be working. And what do you know? Stream Elements is just up right away. Well, there was a 1 minute intro screen. How are you this Easter Sunday? Hope things are doing well for you. I'm actually started a couple minutes early, but what the heck? Probably not many people would pop in because it is Sunday. It's the first warm day. Wow. Now, if it was to stay like 60 all the time, all year round, that'd be nice. That's kind of a good weather. Not hot, not cold. That's nice. Yeah, what? Let me see. Talk about early. I'm five. Well, I was probably 7 minutes early because I've been on for almost 3 minutes. So yeah, I'm 8 minutes early today. But I was sitting here twiddling my thumbs anyway, not doing anything as well. What the heck? I might as well go early today. Couple minutes. No big deal. And I didn't even know it was Easter weekend this weekend here. Somebody said something about Good Friday, and I thought, what? When you get old as me, and you get retired, time is. I don't even have a watch on. I do have a watch, but I don't have a watch. I don't have a clock in here. There's a time on my phone, but I don't really care what day it is or what time it is. Or so holidays are. Uh, I don't know when even the holidays are. I know that. Well, don't even know the days of. So it's April the what is today? uh, April the 9th. So April the 8th. April the 7th must have been a Good Friday. Uh, I know Christmas. I know New Year. I don't even know what day any other holiday falls on. I always got too many granules in my coffee. Wonder where that comes from. It's an instant coffee. It's granular to begin with, but it's like they never absorb or absorb into the liquid. Yeah, I am early today. Let me see if I can change something here. What about the background picture? Can I put a different picture in here? Let's go to add a new layer, media. All these pictures I already have done. Upload. Upload a new one. Let's go to videos. Let's go here. I don't even have any that are ready. Those are not good. What about slideshow pictures? let's see here. Oh yeah, now it's going to download it. Take forever. Oh, yeah, 0% done. "26 megabyte takes like forever. It's not even 1%. What are you doing for Easter? Got any plans of any kind? Like going out anywhere to someone's home for dinner? Or inviting someone over? Max image file size 4 megabytes. Oh, I see. It's 26 megabytes. And 4 is the max. Okay, well, that makes no sense. Let me go back into this. Downloads. Nomadic Vanman. Let's go to slides. Let's call that one up. Let's see if I can make it smaller in size. And make it brighter too. It's like too dark. Brightness and contrast. Exposure. Here we go. Exposure. Let's make it brighter. There, we can see that a little better. Okay, now when we go to save as, let's change the resolution. Or, pardon me, image. Image size. Oh, resolution is 240. We got to go down to 72. Okay, 72. Let's see what that does. There, the size of the photograph's the same, but just smaller in resolution. Now we'll save this. Maybe I can change that. Save. All right. Back into EVMux. I guess I'm just getting ready for it to be warm. Switch from cold to warm mode. Yeah. For the last 6 months, I haven't even put a pair of pants on. Not like long pants. I wear shorts for the whole time I was here. Hopefully I'll find my motorcycle key and get ready for a warm weather. Yeah. Motorhome is good to keep heat in. Yeah. No kidding. Okay, let's go to layers. Rename, copy, replace image. Replace. Let's go to replace with what? Let's get out of that one. And let's go to upload a new one. And we'll go to B. Hey, it's 3.9 megabytes. And it says it's looking for a 4 megabyte file, which it should download. Okay, let's put that one in. go? Where did it go? It's on the transition. Yeah, there it is. So let's transition that over. There, I have a different picture, I do, in the background. Let me see if I can make it so you can see it better. It's a picture of the hotel strip, the hotel zone in Cancun at night from a drone, my drone, looking down Kukulkan Boulevard. That road there is, so we got you can't see it behind the chat window, but over on the right is the lagoon. It's not the ocean, but it's salt water. It's a lagoon where all the crocs are. And on the left side of the picture behind my face is the ocean where the beaches are. People go, and multitude of people on the beaches. So it's just getting dusk. Lights are just coming on, and all the businesses, cars have got their lights on. And it's too bad my drone can't take a photograph longer than 2 seconds. I need to take a photo of like 15 seconds or 20 seconds or more, so that you can see the streaks, the light headlights. They streak. I was trying to do that, but I can only take a 2 second video or photo. Videos don't show that, so this was a still shot. Oh, I have lower thirds up or what? I don't take that off. We don't need to have that on. Motorhome is good to keep warm. Yeah. A little bit of extra space in a motorhome would be nice. Um, then you could change your seating position. You could sit somewhere, and if you're there for extended period of time, you can get up and move somewhere else. In my unit, well, I could sit in the seats, the passenger seat or the driver's seat. The driver's seat doesn't turn. Well, it turns, but I don't want it to turn. The passenger seat I got facing inward all the time. It's never facing the street, so I can sit in it or sit on the bed. That's about it. So if I put my mouse over the wind, I'm swirling my mouse in the center of the screen. I wonder, can you see that? That would be distracting. I know when I share a screen, like over on the chat window side, you should be able to see that mouse movement. Share video, I haven't done that yet, and I haven't done a slideshow through this program. It doesn't seem to work. If I share screen and then use just a program to call up each individual photo, that works. Back home, they have something there at like Tim Hortons I think McDonald's makes those. They're called iced coffee. Tim Hortons iced coffees are uh, like really fine granular ice crystals in the, so it's a little thicker than just your regular iced coffee. So I go here to a tiny little cafe here down the street, and I said, "Can I get an iced coffee?" They said, "Oh yeah, we make iced coffees." Well, it's a cup full of ice with cold coffee in it. That's it. And I said, "Well, that's not the kind of iced coffee I was thinking about." I said, "I need some milk in it or something, cream milk, and then maybe a little bit of sugar. I like coffee with milk and sugar anyway, so they put some milk and sugar in it. Didn't taste the same, but still, it was a nice cold drink instead of a hot coffee." So what the heck are you doing? You're just sitting there doing nothing? Did you want to come up on the panel here, or I don't know how the panel works. I don't know if that's why I got the chat window on the side here, because Michael Santana came up on and he says I can't see the chat. Whereas in StreamYard, it's the other way around. You can see the chat. So there's a couple of small things I don't like about AV the way they do it, and yet there's a lot of things that I like that work a lot better. And also, StreamYards also put up a thing in the free version allowing different layouts and things that you can do, which is that's cool. They're starting to get there, so you can kind of build your screen the way you like. And I don't know if Ron Darrow's probably going to come on today sometime. I'm supposed to go over and be a part of his live. I want to go up on the panel there just to see what I see as being a guest. But he doesn't use EVMux. I'm trying to find someone that uses EVMux to so that I can go up as a guest and see what they see as a guest. I can't show that to myself, which is, I guess I'd need another computer, or I guess I might be able to do it on the phone. Do the live stream on the computer on the laptop, and then come in as a guest on my phone. I suppose I could do that. Not quite the same, because it's all to do with reading the chat window. What other you see on StreamYard? I think you can see yourself and the host. I think what other people see, and you can also see the chat window. Whereas on EVMux, you can either see the two, like yourself and the host, but no chat window. But then there's a button that you can click and you can see the chat window, but then you don't see the host or yourself, which you don't need to see yourself or the host. You just need to read the chat to see what people are saying, because that's the whole idea. Michael wants to show his video and then after take comments and questions and answer type thing, so that he can answer your questions. But he has to know what's in the chat window. That's why I put the chat on the side there. You can read that at least. Hello, Diane. Just got out of church today for what do you call it? Easter Sunday. Doing anything special today, or just you? Today might not be a good day to do lives. Like people are busy doing the Easter thing. And remember, I am loved. Yes, thank you very much. You as well. Oh man, it's the sitting for periods of time. Did anybody see the short that I did just the other day about coloring your Easter eggs? Perfectly white color eggs. How to do that? I didn't finish baking last night. I do have an oven here. I could bake things. But anyways, here is my colored eggs. My short shows you how to make a perfectly white colored egg. it's it's a complete joke, but this is it. I have colored Easter eggs, and here's another one. I'm going to eat these today. The whole explanation on the short explains how to color your eggs perfectly white, because I don't you don't see when people color their eggs, there's usually no white in them. It's just colors. So how you do that is you take your white eggs from the store and you put them in a pot and then you boil them, and you you boil them till you however you like them, and then you take them out of the water, boil the pot, and put them on a table and let them dry for 50. It's got to be 15 minutes, no less. And then after the 15 minutes, you come up with a perfectly dry and a colored white egg, just like you see here. So that's the whole deal behind my short about how to color your eggs perfectly white. It doesn't have many views. Sometimes when you put up a short, you think, "Oh, that's funny. People should think that that's funny," and it would get a lot of views, but it doesn't get. I put one about the police, the Marina police in Cancun here. They're on the beach, and they're dressed in their uniform, and they're on the beach. And that thing got 1,500 views just in within 20 minutes. As ones the ones you think are going to do good don't, and the ones that you think are just it's just a video, a short video. They do like 1,500 views in 20 minutes. Like, holy, unexpected. You don't know which videos are going to do that. Then I took one off the internet about the Bud Light commercial. I guess Budweiser beer is under. People are not drinking it anymore because they did something with the public. Anyways, the commercial is in a sleigh ride, a man and a woman in a sleigh ride, and he says, we'll have an intimate evening here, and he pulls up a candle and hands her this candle in a glass container, and then he says, and there's something else we're going to have. Here's a light, and now we're going to have a Bud Light. Then he goes to get bends over to get the beer, and yeah, Budweiser's losing a lot of business. The same with Anheuser Busch or some with company with another. They're losing a lot of business because of what they did or what they said. Like, they don't care about the public people. They just, anyways. So he bends over to pick up this beer to give her this Budweiser beer, and they're in a sleigh ride with a horse. And that when he bends over, she's got the candle in front of her, and or the flame, and the horse lifts his tail and lets out a fart, and the gas blows the fire, and it ignites and singes her hair, and he gets up and says, "Do you smell something barbecuing?" And she's all burnt. But I just reposted it. It was a commercial, Budweiser commercial. They put, what's that? What's it? They put a very unpopular trans person on their cans. Oh, no way. I didn't see that. Really? I'm going to have to go and check out why people are steering away from Budweiser. That'll hurt their sales. I don't much care for, I mean, I'm not a drinker like I used to be when I was young, but if I'm going to go for a beer, I would rather have a beer in a bottle than in a can anyway. The just the can, just I don't know, it just doesn't, to me it doesn't taste the same. But people were saying they don't like the taste of Budweiser beer in the first place. Well, I guess it all depends on your taste buds. I don't mind Budweiser beer. It's beer. And especially the Bud Light. Well, it's a light beer. Some people say it's like watered down beer. Well, we always used to say that about American beer. American beer was always more watered down to me than Canadian beer was. And then when you put beer in a clear bottle is way different than putting beer in a dark brown bottle. It's got something to do with the light penetrating the glass. But anyways, I don't drink a lot of beer and I'm not a beer connoisseur, so what do I know? But I'm going to have to go look and see, check that up on why there was two companies. I thought it was Bush or somebody, Anheuser-Busch and the Budweiser beer was being threatened or under attack by a lot of people. It wasn't just a couple. Now, when you go to Germany or something where they have, well, a lot of stout beers, like really dark beers. I don't really care for dark beers too much. I like them a golden amber color with a nice head. That to me is a beer and cold. I don't like room temperature beer, but so they say room temperature beer is the way you should drink beer. Well, that I can't I can't drink room temperature beer, and that's the thing. No matter what temperature a room is, I don't care what temperature it is. It's always at room temperature. Doesn't matter what temperature a room is. It's always at room temperature. So when you say room temperature, what temperature is that? It's got to be a range from this to that, a range of temperatures that would be considered a room temperature. Room temperature. You agree? Bottles are better. Yeah, and then they had the long neck beer bottles about 50 years ago, 40 some years ago, long neck beer bottles. And then they went to these real short, stumpy neck, no neck at all beer bottles. And then everybody wanted to find beer bottles that were long necked. They're trying to save them. And now they're long neck beer bottles again, like they used to be years ago. I don't think you can even find a short, stubby kind of beer bottle anymore. And you see, here in Cancun, they don't like plastic. So when you have like a soft drink, like a Coca Cola, comes in a plastic bottle. When they're finished, they just throw them on the beach or on the street. They're out there. You they're worth nothing after the fact. Like in Canada, glass, plastic, and cans are all worth something. So as people pick those up and then turn them in, they get some money for them. Well, here, plastic is worthless, totally worthless. So you'll see plastic bottles everywhere. The same with glass beer bottles and glass containers. they're all worthless. You see them piles, but tin cans, like tin bottles or beer or pop or whatever, those are they collect those, and then you can every once in a while you can see somebody with a big rock. They're squashing them down so that they fit in their bag better. But they squash their beer cans. One lady had made a with cement, put it in a tin can, large tin can, and then put a stick in the end, so it was like a hammer, a big cement hammer, and she was squashing beer cans with that. They go on the beach and they search through the garbage cans, or the people are drinking, they throw their cans there, and then they would come and pick them up. I don't know. I guess they take them somewhere, turn them in for for money. They must remelt them down to make new something out of them, new cans or new something. You're allergic to beer. What happens when you drink beer? A couple of drinks and instant migraine. Oh no, that's not good. Like a couple of drinks, like you mean like a couple of bottles or just a couple of sips, like mouthfuls? That'd be no good. Must be something in beer then that's like it's probably mostly water, but there's other chemicals, of course, uh, like barley or some kind of a grain. Ooh, a couple sips. That's not good. Stay away from that. Yeah, barley and the hops. Okay, it's the hops that are, and then some kind of a wheat, whatever they use to make and the hops to make the alcohol, sugar. But I don't really go to the bars here because I don't drink. But down, like in the picture in the background here, that's where Coco Bongo is down about middle of the picture. Senor Frog. There's bars down there. That's where the nightlife is in Cancun. This is where the biggest nightlife place is here. Although it's all over in Cancun. But anyway, so you go there and you buy drinks and stuff, and you're tourists. Well, you don't know what you're getting when you order a drink. Like if you, I don't know, even if you order a beer, it comes when it's comes open, like in a bottle, but they already took the top off. So you don't know if it's been watered down, like especially drinks like tequila or whiskey or any of those kind of drinks, they could put other stuff in them, which they do. Um, and then they charge you 2 or 3 times as much money as it really is. Like you can go to, um, in the picture, let me just see, where would it be? I don't know if you can see my mouse, but there's a different colored hotel here. It looks kind of brownish, orangey color on the front of this building, and then it's white on the sides. Right about there is a walkway to go from the street to the left to the ocean to the beach. And right at the beach, there's a 7-Eleven. Now, at a 7-Eleven, you can buy a can of beer, 355 milliliters, for 40 pesos, which is like $2. Now, if you go into Coco Bongo or any of those, that very same beer is $7. So that's 3 times as much money for the same thing. So a lot of people, if it's not sunny, like in the daytime, at night they go to the bars, but because the beaches are probably not as crowded. But in the daytime, you go to the beach, you're allowed to drink anywhere. You're allowed to drink on the beaches. You're allowed to drink on the city buses. You take your alcohol on the bus. You can drink. You can walk down the streets drinking. You can drink on the beaches. A weird thing is smoking. cigarettes. Like, it's illegal to smoke cigarettes on the beaches, and yet I seen that one short that I have with the military police, the marina police. They're walking from the streets and they're going to walk down the beaches, and they pass some lady lighting up a cigarette right on the beach, and yet they know it, and so does she know that it's illegal to do that, and yet they don't say anything. They don't do anything. The police are corrupted, but they're there for a reason. They're there to stop the cartel from bothering the tourists and stuff. And all their cartel is worried about is drugs and things. Like, matter of fact, if you marijuana is illegal in Mexico, but they'll come up to you on the beach and they'll say, they'll ask you if you want to buy some. They probably don't have any on them in person because the police are watching this, and if they see them, they'll come over and handcuff them and take them away. But not only that, so let's say you buy some marijuana and you're on the beach and you light it up, and a member of the cartel, all he's got to do is smell that, and he knows it's not their kind of drug. You bought that somewhere else. You didn't buy it from the cartel like you're supposed. Not the cartel per se, but the cartel gives their drugs to people to sell, and then you pay them. They don't go out themselves and sell it. They give it to their mules or whatever you call them, people to go and sell it for you. And so they get busted, and not the cartel themselves. But they can tell by the smell of the marijuana whether it's from the cartel selling that, or you bought that from somewhere else. And if you bought it from somewhere else, you better look out, because the cartel will do something to you. Even if you're a tourist, they'll say you can't have that marijuana that was grown by someone else, and it's way more potent or whatever than the kind that they have. So it's little things like that that you learn. But then again, if you're smoking weed, well, you're asking for trouble. You might see the cartel. But if you don't do any of those kind of things, I've never seen a cartel anything happen here in the 6 months I've been here. And yet you see on the news and stuff where the cartel came up and they're shooting up the beach, and some people of the cartel were killed by the police. Like, I never even see that. I guess I'm not there at that time, but there again, the cartel doesn't care about your everyday ordinary things. They care about what they're like selling, how they make their money. If you're into the things that how they make their money, then you're going to be asking for problems. So that's the only deal. I see Justin and Christina have left Florida, and they last night they were in Virginia, so they're heading back to Canada. And then I have some friends that are coming to Cancun here shortly, I'm hoping, so that they would. I told them to contact me when they get here. We'll have a drink together, or we'll just come and visit. They're coming in April, and I'm just about to go home pretty soon. Another few weeks, and I'm gone. I wish I could actually extend my visit. Now, somebody was asking. No, they're not in here now, and it doesn't matter because the people that wanted to know this aren't in here right now. But they asked about how long do you have to be away from Mexico before you can come back in again? Is it 24 hours or whatever have you, or is it days or weeks or months? And I think it was Rob on the Road that said it was like 25 hours, just to ensure that you were away for a full day. So I went online and looked that up. Now, he could have been talking about the UK and maybe different countries over there, but here in Mexico, there is no time limit at all. you can go back into the US for 1 second and come back. There is no time limit. It's just as long as you get out and you come back in. So you go across the border, wherever you're at. If you're in a building that's on the border, you go in, you log in to Canada, you turn around, you come right back again. There is no time limit. And that's what they were trying to stop people from doing, tourists and things, to stop them from living here for 6 months and then turn around, go home for a minute and come back and stay for another 6 months. So I guess it doesn't matter how long if you say it's going to be 24 hours, 25 hours, or 1 week or 1 month, they're still going to come back. So, and then Mexico is relying on tourism, so they don't want to, make it hard for you. They just, if they stop you from coming back all the time, well, then the tourism goes down the drain. The limit on you, whatever Canada says about you in your check. The limits on you, whatever Canada says about you in your check. I'm not quite too sure what that means, but I could just stay here. Nobody ever asked me for my passport to find out when I'm supposed to go back in the 6 months I've been here. I mean, I could stay renting here for years unless somebody asks me. Oh, what does Canada tell you about living in Mexico? Canada don't give a shit. Well, the only people that know that I'm not in Canada is my doctor. I was short some medication and I needed to get them refilled. And I said, I'm in Mexico. Can I get some refills here? And they said, well, it's too bad. You're in another country. We're not going to help you. It's like your own doctor doesn't even want to help you just because you're not in Canada. It's amazing. When I get back, I'm going to switch doctors. As a matter of fact, last time I was here last year in May for 2 weeks to get my teeth looked at, and then I went back home. Well, to get into Mexico, absolutely no problems whatsoever. You get on the plane, you fill out your FMM sheet. You're going to say how long you're going to stay, where you're staying, so that they can verify that you're actually going to live here somewhere, and when you're going back. No problem at all. And then 2 weeks later, I went back home to my own country, Canada, and I get to the airport in Calgary. I had to jump through I don't know how many hoops. I live in a vehicle. I have no permanent address. It's even on my driver's license saying that my address is a post office box number. It's not a street address. And they said, well, you need a street address. And I said, I don't have one. They said, well, what house do you live in? I said, I don't. I live in a vehicle. It's on wheels. Well, you can't do that either. And I said, well, what do you mean? I was born and raised in Canada. How come I can't get back in my own country? And it was kind of slightly just after COVID time. And they even swabbed me, picked me out of the line and, said, well, we'll contact you if we find something wrong. And I said, like, please. It's harder to get back into my own country than it is to get into a foreign country. Like, what the heck? It was incredible. Gotta go. Dinner's done. All right, Diane, thank you for coming in again. Love you, sister. And like you said, love coming at you. And stay cool and be awesome. And have a great Easter dinner. But that's a good question there, Mr. Ronney Braun. Canada, I'm going to find out about what does Canada say about going back and forth. Canada says about um, back to Mexico or any other country for that matter. All right, Diane, love you, sister. Thanks for coming in again. Gotta go. Dinner's done. Dinner talking about like lunch, 12 o'clock lunchtime done. It is 12:39 here at the moment. So it's either 12:39 there or 1:39. Where it all depends if you're central or eastern. Most people that come in here are central and eastern, not so much in the western mountain time. Like in Vancouver. In Vancouver, it's like 2 hours earlier, maybe even three. So it's still morning there. And then when Paul, Wakey RC, or a few of them that are from the Rob on the road, they're probably in tomorrow already. Not tomorrow, but tonight. Like where Rob is, I think it's 12 here. It's probably 7 o'clock in the evening there already. And I asked Paul. He said he had to go yesterday. It was 4 in the morning when he left here, and it was like 10 o'clock or something, 11 my time. Kind of jokingly, they said, "Well, what's the winning numbers for the lottery? You should know that. You're living in tomorrow. Tell me the numbers." And I gotta crack my eggs and eat my eggs today. This is my perfectly colored white egg, my Easter egg. Love how it came out perfectly white. I have a short on that tells you how to make those. Yeah, what does Canada say about going back and forth to other countries, coming in and going out? Well, might be a difference if you're a resident of that country. So I'll find out both ways there and see what's that about. But I know as far as Mexican, I don't think it even matters whether you're a Mexican or whether you're whatever nationality. If you're a non-resident of Mexico and you go out of the country, it's you can come right back in again with no limitations whatsoever. So I'll try to find out what the Canadian government says about that. Good question. Yeah, brilliant question. Is my coffee getting cold? Yeah. If I make it too hot to begin with, you can't drink it. I don't like it like that either. I like coffee at the temperature that you can actually have a sip. What if I put the lower thirds on? Let me just see. We've got it in green. How about we change the style to that? And then what else can I do? Oh, whoops. Sorry about that one. Let's change that style. How can I change the lower thirds? Well, it's the same thing. Banner and comment style. Oh, that's comment style, not the banner style. Okay, so that's there. So when I put comments on, okay, so that shows up like this. So banner, no, not banners. Private chat. I thought there was a way I could change my lower thirds to look different. Ooh, too much green. And besides, I like it more of a goldy color. But not only that, let's try a custom one. Lower thirds. Size, main color, other color. Let's make that black. Gray, white. I guess white it is. Display logo. Display title. And how come we can't pick a different kind? Lower thirds. When your screen is small, you can't see that. So let's just turn lower thirds right off. There. Back to normal. Perfect. Perfectamundo. So I think today we won't run it for the whole 2 hours. We'll just run it for the hour. So it's 53 minutes so far. So we'll call it another 7 minutes, and then we'll end our live and we'll check out and see if somebody else is on and visit for a little bit. Go and see if Tasha is on. Ron Darrell, he does quite a few lives. There's so many people that I am subscribed to that do lives. I could go 24 hours watching different lives, but I do go watch a few lives, but I mean, I have other things to do instead of watching lives all day long. It's nice when you can watch videos also, because most of the time lives are just chatting, people chatting back and forth. And most of the times I'm doing all the talking. I got my exhaust fan working. I think we're going to jump from spring right into summer. You got your exhaust fan, like are you talking your diesel heater fan, exhaust fan, or just like a fan like in the roof? Got that working. My exhaust fan working. I don't know about you, but in the summer, I I mean, if it's not cold in the winter, right? Super cold, but I can deal with the winter better than I can with the summer. The summer is nice. I mean, but when it gets hot, it's too hot, and I don't have a good cooling system in my van. I don't have a air conditioner except when you run the vehicle. You have an air conditioner. I used to have a big air conditioner on the roof, but it was big and bulky, and it worked if you were plugged in somewhere. And I was never ever near a plug-in to plug that in and use it. Then you're using someone else's power. And I guess I could plug it into my inverter, but that would suck up the battery juice in no time. And I've got 3 battery. I think I got lots of amp hours, but the solar is not enough to keep it going. You made your own upper exhaust fan. Yeah, I get because the hot air goes on up high. Matter of fact, in my van, when I put the heater on, the heater pumps out the hot air on the floor. But the temperature difference from the floor to the ceiling, because the hot air rises and it's on the ceiling, you need fans to push the air back down again to keep her warm at your feet. And yet the exhaust from the diesel heater was right on the floor. But still, it comes out of the exhaust and then up. The temperature, I had one thermostat up, a thermometer up high on the ceiling and one down low, and it was like 5 to sometimes 10 degrees difference. The inside of a vehicle, like, wow, what a difference. And if you, like you said, if it's going to jump right into summer and get hot, well, and you can't park underneath the trees, at least to keep her a little cool, windows open in the wind and in the shade. That's where I used to park in the shade. Hopefully, it had a little breeze. Put the fans on, open the windows, and it was still last year. It was like 50 degrees in there, and I'm talking Celsius. 50. That's well over 100 degrees in the shade, or where I was. 50 degrees Celsius is how much in Fahrenheit?
32 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 0 degrees Celsius.
I didn't say. 50 degrees Celsius is how many in Fahrenheit?
50 degrees Celsius is equal to 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
122 degrees inside my van. 50 degrees Celsius. 122. Talk about roasting. And like I said, in the summer, what do? You can take off only so much clothes. You're sitting in your van with the doors open and you're nude, sweating your balls off. It's hot. But in the wintertime, the colder it gets, the more you can pack on. Like, wow. 122. Wow, I didn't even know it was that much. I thought it was like just over the 100, 105, 106, 122 degrees. Yikes. The sun hits this end and heats up and stays warm. Yeah, no kidding. If you're in the sun all the time, if you can't get in under the trees during the day sometime. You had a thermometer at my ceiling, read 100 last year. I had to get a working air conditioner. Oh wow. Now if you're there where you can plug in to a 120-volt power supply, that's great. You can have an air conditioner. There's all these kind of air conditioners they make where you can use like a regular cooler where you put ice in, and you put ice in the cooler, but then you have a fan on one end, and the other end is just a hole. So the fan's blowing in the cooler, blowing the cold air in the cooler out the other end. Now, I don't know how cool that would make something. That might be nice if you're sitting right in front of it and just keep ice in there. Keep putting ice in there. That would probably melt pretty fast because you're blowing warm air over the ice and then out the other side. But like do it yourself or homemade DIYs or do-it-yourself kind of air conditioning units. I've tried ones that plug into 12 volts that just have water in there and a turning filter thing, and then with a fan. And if you put your face right in front of it, it's cool, but it would never cool a room down. That's just about an impossibility. I mean, if you want an air conditioner, you got to break down and get the real thing. Is the only way. They just suck up a lot of power, and um, how if you're going to run it on 12 volts, wow, you'd be running your batteries unless you got some sort of super battery thing. You hear people say, "Well, I can run my air conditioner on my batteries and what have you, and no problems." And I doubt that. Alrighty, Mr. Ronney Braun, I want to thank you again, brother, for coming in and, like I said, you've been here the whole time I was on, the whole full hour. Appreciate it very much. That gives me one full hour of watch time right there. Um, Not that that matters. I'm just explaining the deal about watch hours and stuff. Like lives don't really give you watch time like you think it does. It's change. It's not quite the same as watching a movie. And I don't a video. I don't get many people watching my videos, anyways. I'm not Mr. Popular guy, and I don't really care about that. But yes, thank you for having your live stream. It was nice. I was kind of working while listening. Sorry, I didn't say more. No problem. You don't have to like say anything. I knew you were there. Every once in a while, you'd pop up and say hi. So I knew you were sitting in the background. Um, but anyways, Ronnie, thank you again for coming in, and make sure you stay awesome, my friend. That's the biggest thing of all. Stay cool. No pun intended there. Um, just be yourself and stay awesome, my friend. And we'll catch you on the next surprise pop up whenever I can. Hopefully, I could get out at least a couple hours notification so people can pop in and say hi. And I don't mind chatting a little bit myself. I'd like to get a couple of people up on the panel so I can investigate, see how it works. If I'm using StreamYard, that's different. That's a whole different ballgame. But EV Mux is a little bit harder to work in that respect. Easy but hard if you don't know it. So, anyways, Ronnie, thanks for popping in, and we'll catch you on my next live. Stay tuned. I think, yeah, stay cool. Today is 29 degrees here Celsius, which is pretty warm. All right, Ronnie, thanks for popping in. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay awesome, my friend.